Welcome to We Learn Virtual Learning Network. This is session number 8 of Society and Religion, and the chapter is a case study from Southeast Asia. Topics to be covered are the setting, Slameton's core ritual in Javanese religion, and 2 examples. The setting. Human habitation in Java dates back to prehistoric times. Indeed, the remains of primitive humans were found here in 1891. Java's history, a summary. The island of Java forms part of the nation-state of Indonesia. It's regarded as the cultural, economic, and political nerve center of Indonesia. Indeed, Indonesia's capital, Jakarta, is Java's largest city. In the 5th century AD, Hindus entered and settled in eastern and central Java. The Hindu-Javanese state of Maspet marked the peak of Javanese history. In the 13th century, Islam was introduced and the Muslim state of Mataram was founded. Contemporary Javanese culture bears the stamp of both Hinduism and Islam. 90% of Java's population is Muslim. In 1596 saw the arrival of Dutch traders in the form of the Dutch East India Company, which gradually absorbed the remnants of the Javanese Empire. The company was liquidated in 1798 and Java came under direct Dutch rule, which lasted until 1949, when Indonesia became a sovereign country. It became a republic in 1850 under the leadership of Sukarno. Society in Mojokerto. Mojokerto is a commercial, educational and administrative center for 18 surrounding villages. It had a population of about 20,000, of which the bulk was Javanese, with a sprinkling of Chinese, Arabian and Indian elements. Surrounded by thousands of rice fields, Mojokerto's economy was a blend of agriculture and trade. The core of native commercial life was the market, where daily hundreds of Javanese men and women bargained and struggled to earn a living, trading all manner of goods from textiles to fish to medicines and dry goods for a profit. So over there, a commercial life was led where the daily hundreds of Javanese men and women bargained and struggled to earn a living and trading all manner of goods from textiles to fish to medicines and dry goods for a profit. In Gates' words, for the Mojokerto Javanese, whether buyer or seller, the market is a very model of commercial life, the source of nearly all his ideas of the possible and proper in economic behavior. Apart from agricultural and trading activities, white-collar office work is the third major occupational type. White-collar workers include teachers and government officials who form the intellectual and social elite of Mojokerto. As Gates says, they are the inheritors of a political tradition in which the ability to read and write was confined to a hereditary court class born to rule and venerated for doing so. There exists a general attitude of respect and subservience of the uneducated towards the educated. Cultural types in Java. The 3 cultural types, each associated with its distinct social structural nuclei, are as follows: Abangan tradition, Santri and Prajai tradition. Slameton, a core ritual in Javanese religion. The Slameton or communal feast lies at the heart of the whole Javanese religious system. The communal feast, Gates points out, is probably the most common religious ritual in the world. The Slameton in Gates' words symbolizes the mystic and social unity of those participating in it. Friends, neighbors, fellow workers, relatives, local spirits, dead ancestors, and near forgotten gods all get bound by virtue of their commensality into a defined social group pledged to mutual support and cooperation. Amongst those belonging to the Abangan tradition, the Slameton still retains much of its original force and attraction, although its efficacy is no longer so great amongst the urban dwellers. Slametons can be given in response to any important occasion, be it a rite of passage, birth, circumcision, marriage, death, or affliction, illness, bad dreams, witchcraft, etc., or an occasion like shifting residence or starting a business. The emphasis naturally differs in each case. Let's now describe the usual pattern of the Slameton. The Slameton pattern. Slametons are invariably held in the evenings, just after sunset and the completion of evening prayers. An auspicious day is chosen. During the day, the women of the household prepare food, sometimes taking help from women of the wider kin group. The ceremony is an all-male affair. Women are expected to stay in the kitchen. The men invited are all close neighbors. The host messenger, usually his son, calls them only 5 to 10 minutes before the actual ceremony. So this is all about the ceremony wherein it's all male affair and women are restricted or bound to the kitchen and they are not allowed to come out. They must drop whatever they are doing and go to the host's home. Of course, it's usually a known fact that a slameton is going to be held and the men are prepared for the invitation. At the host's house, the invitees sit in a circle around the dishes of food that have already been placed in the center of the floor. The host opens the ceremony with an extremely formal speech. He expresses gratitude for the neighbor's presence and hopes that the benefits of the ceremony are given to everyone. So basically, the host opens the ceremony with an extremely formal speech. He gives a formal speech and expresses gratitude for the presence of the people who have come and also for the neighbors and who have come. The meaning of slameton. The slameton also dramatizes the values of traditional Javanese peasant culture. The mutual adjustment of individual wills reflects in the way men leave aside everything else because they must attend a neighbor's slameton. Self-restraint and careful control over outward behavior can be seen in the formal interaction of host and guests, and as Geet suggests, slametons tend to occur at least those points in Javanese life when the need to assert these values is at its strongest. In the following section, we'll cite 2 examples of slameton. These illustrations will bring not just the points mentioned above, but also the rich syncretism of Javanese peasant religion that has been spoken about. Slametons are held on almost any important occasion. Geets categorizes 4 types of slametons: those centering around life crisis, those associated with a Muslim ceremonial calendar, the Birish concerned with promoting the social integration of the village by driving out evil spirits, and intermittent slametons which may be held on rare occasions like departure for a long trip, change of residence, illness, sorcery, etc. Rice mixed with grated coconut land, a whole stuffed chicken meant to honor Prophet Muhammad and to secure Slamet for all present. 2 bananas are also offered to Devi Pertine Fatima, the daughter of the Prophet. 7 small pyramids of rice symbolizing the 7 months of pregnancy. 8 or 9 rice balls symbolizing the Walids, the legendary carriers of Islam to Java. A large rice pyramid to make the child big and strong. Marriage. Until recently in Java, marriages were strictly arranged by the parents. But in recent times, personal choice and mutual understanding between the boy and the girl concerned have become important. Nevertheless, the imaran or formal request by the boy's parents is still carried out for appearance sake. So that is for appearance sake, that is the formal request by the boy's parents is still carried out. Both sets of parents engage in a highly formal conversation and agree to a non-tony or looking over. The boy and his parents visit the girl's home and more polite formalities are also exchanged whilst the girl coyly serves tea and the boy has a sly look at her. The marriage of Kepankin, the meeting, is always held at the girl's home. A girl's wedding is the most important ritual she is entitled to, like the boy's circumcision, and her parents are obliged to do the best they can for her wedding. On the evening before the marriage, a slameton is given by her parents. So the girl's wedding is the most important ritual when the girl is entitled to. The groom is not allowed to attend, and after the slameton, the girl is dressed in simple clothes and made to sit very still in the center of the house for about 5 hours. So that was all about the case study and how the particular festival that is celebrated and how the families meet, how the families make polite pleasantries and also the way they speak to each other. So that was all about in this session for you. These are some of the questions. You have to do it yourself. Question number 1, when and why is Tingbin performed? Question number 2, keeping an item of the mother's clothing is believed to keep a person slamet. Why? Thank you. Happy learning. We learning.